So, let's talk about AI in the classroom. It's already here, right? But hold on. Before we start rewriting every single lesson plan, there's something we have to address first. And honestly, it all comes down to our teachers.
And that's the big question, isn't it? It's so easy to get distracted by the shiny new app or the latest software. But this isn't about that. It's about the people, the folks who are actually in the classrooms every single day. So yeah, how do we get them ready for what is, let's be honest, a massive, massive shift?
Look, we've got to be super clear about this. This is not some science fiction down the road kind of thing. It is happening right now. Students are already using these tools to research, to write. It's even changing how they think. The train has left the station, folks. It's here, and we need to figure out our response.
So where do we even begin? Well, the answer might surprise you. It's not about tearing up the curriculum or rewriting academic standards from scratch. Nope. It starts with the educators.
Think about it. We can talk all day about the amazing potential of AI in education, but none of it, and I mean none of it, matters if our teachers don't feel ready, if they're not confident. The biggest hurdle isn't the tech itself, it's psychological. It's all about building that base level of confidence.
Okay, so how do we build that confidence? It's not as complicated as you might think. It really boils down to 3 core, super practical skills. Let's dive into the first one. Just getting a handle on what AI actually changes for your specific subject.
And here's the good news. This should be a huge relief for a lot of people. You do not need to go get a degree in computer science. You don't have to be a coding whiz. The goal here is way more down to earth. It's just about figuring out, okay, what is this thing good at? Where does it fall flat on its face? And most importantly, what still absolutely 100% requires a human brain?
And getting that understanding is actually pretty straightforward. Seriously, just take one of your go-to assignments, something you give your students all the time. Pop it into an AI tool and just see what happens. See what it spits out. Then put that side by side with what you'd expect from a student. This isn't some high-level academic exercise. It's about getting your hands dirty and seeing it for yourself.
And when you do this, you're going to see a huge gap almost immediately, right? We ask students to show their work, to walk us through their thinking. In AI, it just jumps straight to the answer. We tell students they need to find real, solid evidence. And AI? Well, it's been known to just, invent sources. This is exactly why getting that firsthand experience is so important. It's a real eye-opener.
Okay, so that experience leads us right into the second crucial skill. If the AI's big weakness is that it hides the process, then our job becomes crystal clear. We have to make the human process visible again.
Yeah, this is probably one of the biggest challenges with AI in the classroom. It's a total black box. You get an answer, but you have no idea how it got there. None of the messy, creative, critical thinking that's part of real learning. So our job, we got to be the ones to shine a bright light on that journey.
And again, the theme here is keeping it simple. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just pick one tiny little routine. Maybe it's you thinking aloud for just 30 seconds as you work through a problem on the board. Or maybe it's asking students to compare 2 different answers. Try it once in a lesson. That's it. Then just do it again the next week.
Because that's the secret sauce right there. It's not about some big, complicated, revolutionary new pedagogy. It's about consistency. It's about the simple, repeated act of making thinking visible. That's how you build real confidence. Not just for you as the teacher, but for your students too.
All right, that brings us to skill number 3, our final one. And this one is all about giving students the actual words, the language they need to talk about and understand their own thinking process.
Students are using these incredible cognitive skills, like evaluation, interpretation, synthesis, all the time. But a lot of the time, they don't even know they're doing it. It's just happening automatically. And in a world with AI, that's just not going to cut it anymore. They need to be able to step back and say, the skill I'm using right now is evaluation. They need to know what that means and practice it on purpose.
So here's a super practical little recipe for this. Think of it like a micro lesson. It's super focused, super achievable. Step 1, pick one essential skill, just one. Step 2, define it in one simple sentence. Step 3, show them a really quick example. And step 4, give them literally 2 minutes to try it out. See? It makes building these big skills feel totally manageable, not overwhelming.
Okay, so there you have it. Our 3 skills. Understand AI, show the process, and name the skill. Simple, right? But now let's pull back and look at the bigger picture, because building this foundation is absolutely critical.
You can have the most brilliant AI-proof curriculum in the world, but it's just a piece of paper if the teachers delivering it don't feel ready. This isn't optional. It's not a nice to have. Teacher readiness is the absolute, non-negotiable foundation. It's the bedrock that everything else has to be built on.
And here's why that's so important. Once that foundation is solid, once teachers feel confident, that's when the real magic can happen. That's when you can start having those exciting conversations about redesigning assignments, rethinking assessments, all the stuff that's going to truly prepare our students for what's next.
So let's bring this home with a question directly for you. Don't think about mastering all of this overnight. That's not the point. Just based on what we've talked about, what is one small thing, one tiny step you could take this week to start building your own AI confidence? Maybe it really is as simple as taking one assignment and seeing what an AI does with it. That's it. That's the starting point.
Oh, and before we go, one last little fun fact for you. The article that this whole explainer is based on, it was actually written with help from AI. Now, the ideas, the structure, the meaning, that was all human. But AI was used as a tool to help shape it. And isn't that just the perfect example of what we're talking about? It's not about replacing human thought. It's about creating a new kind of partnership,